Hello, saints, sinners, believing and non-believers. Come to you with another good word to phase two of it. Authority is given. You see this is how God has given the authority to those who obey his will and do his will. 1 Kings 17:1. I already read this part. This is the beginning title of it, what he says. Now this is breaking it down. I like to always I like to always be able to break down God's word so understanding is greater received. And this what he said in 1 Kings 17:1 when he was talking to Elijah, and Elijah told Ahab what's going to happen. You know, here we go right here. God gave Abraham responsibility to rule over the Garden of Eden. And then he told him and Eve to be fruitful and to multiply. You see that? Okay, he told them that. Then he said right here, created in the image of God, they are given dominion over the fish of the sea. You see that? Over the birds of the air and over the cattle. That's in Genesis 1:26. Authority is given and it is never assumed. You see that? If you follow the biblical progresses, God gave the authority to Noah to make an ark, and he did in Genesis 6. He gave authority to Abraham to form a new nation, and he did in Genesis 12. He gave authority to Moses to lead the children of Israel out of Egypt in bondage, and he did in Exodus 3. No one else could do these tasks because the individual has God's authority. You see that? Elijah was called a man of God, 2 Kings 1:9. Okay, the term was used when God power is manifested in that man. When, you see this, when Elijah went to King Ahab and said, there will be no rain except by his word in 1 Kings 17:1. Remember we was reading up here, that's real power. He called for the stock market to crash. He later called from heaven. That's a good way to put it. I like that example. He called for the stock market to crash and later called fire from heaven. They killed 450 false prophets of Bala and then ran for 40 miles in front of the king's chariot. 1 Kings 18. That is supernatural power. When you can have the power to run in front of the king's chariot, that's power.